What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. I have another very special F50 remake for you, the soccer.com variation in the pink and blue checkered. All right, so with this box, this is the Adizero F50 Ghosted Adizero HT, otherwise known as the 2014/15 Adizero 4s in the pink and blue colorway. Super eccentric, super beautiful looking, and they come in a giant box. So let's hop straight into the unboxing of these. So before we do, really quick, there's a secret that a lot of boot collectors and boot reviewers don't talk about a lot, and that is eBay. I found these on eBay for a good price, and they're brand new, came in plastic, everything. And what I would recommend is if you go to eBay, you type in the specific boot that you want. Don't just type soccer cleats size 9. I'm a size 9, and I was looking for F50, so I would type in Adizero F50 9 US or size 9 US. And you had a whole list of things that people were selling. There was this guy who had this one and a couple other different pairs that were really cool that I didn't actually end up purchasing, but I might at some point, that are other remakes of these. And it is a really great way to get retro boots if you don't have access to Instagram, or you don't want to go on Instagram, or you don't trust Instagram. You can always go through eBay, and eBay has buyer protection and all that other stuff. I always recommend going through and building relationships with Instagram boot dealers, because it's people who make their living or partial livings off of that, and they really are wonderful humans, and I would recommend doing that most of the time. But if there's a special boot that you want that no one else has, go to eBay, check it out, check every once in a while, and there's new boots uploaded all the time. So that's my little pitch on eBay. Now, F50 Adizero has the X Speedflow, or a pseudo X Speedflow box. You've got this big X. They are saying that this is the X Ghosted Adizero, but again, they're the same sole plate basically. You've got a really cool F50 in this ridged, the inside of the box is this color, and then you've got obviously this ridge thing in an F50, which is super awesome. This is the Adidas logo, and then you've got that same F50, and then here you go. So this is the soccer.com right there. You've got the soccer.com, and then these are a size 9 US, UK 8.5, and a 42 2/3 in Euro. All right, here we go. So let's get these unboxed. It is a drawer like the Speedflow and X Ghosted Plus boxes, which is super cool. Here we go. All right, so love that. We get some paper in here. Holy moly. Oh my goodness. Okay, so these are the same model as the boots that I've already done the review on, those black and white ones, but these take it up to level 11 out of 10. These are absolutely beautiful. I love the color combination. These ones were commonly known as the cotton candy F50s because of the color scheme. You've got the 3 stripes on the lateral side with the Adizero logo, and then on the interior you got the 3 stripes under this little sticker that says, "The outsole coating on the bottom of this shoe will potentially wear off during play, but will not affect the performance of this product." Okay, obviously. Metallic pink, like a really hot cotton candy pink sole plate with, of course, the Carbitex tooling, and it is just a stunning pair of football boots. You've got this beautiful hybrid touch upper, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So let's get these unboxed. Again, these are an eBay find, so beautiful. Nothing else in the box, no string bag or anything. That's actually something that I noticed with all of the F50s. You didn't get a string bag as well. You didn't get a string bag with any of them, which is a little bit disappointing, but I think the original F50s didn't come with one either, so I guess it's with the times. But it would be cool to get a hot pink Adidas Plus variation string bag with that mesh material in it. So as I mentioned before, this is the hybrid touch upper with the synthetic back part in the heel area. You've got an external heel counter, obviously, with the speed frame, and then you've got this beautiful suede liner on the inside that's so soft and really does a good job of holding your foot in when you have grip socks on. So that's something that I often, I love my Zypher grip socks, and when I wear those, they do a really good job of holding my feet in place in a boot like this, especially in a speed boot. Now, The hybrid touch upper was something that people raved about because it essentially was like, it was like a thinner version of Nike's Kangalite, which was introduced on the CTR 360, I believe. And that was a faux leather or a fake leather upper that was super thin and had these sense pods in them for the CTRs and all this other stuff. Now, this one is just a straight hybrid touch upper, so you get the softness and the pliability of a leather with the weatherproofing, but pseudo weatherproofing and some of the other weight advantages of a synthetic. And that's something that this boot did so well, is because they put everything from this seam right here, that blue line, everything from that blue line all the way around the upper to the blue line right here is all hybrid touch. So anybody with potentially a little bit wider of a midfoot like myself could fit into these boots because of how wide they were on the lateral side. The other thing that it did was it created this lightweight but also pseudo leather feel, because I think before this generation, in 2010, 11, and 12, and even in 2013, the F50, there existed a leather variation of these boots and a synthetic. So they went really hard on synthetic, really hard on leather. And what this did was this combined both of them a little bit into the hybrid touch that allowed for this combination and just incredible feel on the ball. And in training sessions with the black and white version of this one that I have, they are unbelievably soft and pliable. They do a great job of locking your foot down as well, because it didn't have as much stretch as a leather boot, and it kept its shape a lot like a synthetic boot would. And so these do such a good job of performing. I also really appreciate, because I do play on artificial most of the time, they have this little plastic or coating right there on the inside of the big toe where you would hit bended shots or pings. And so right here is a little bit more reinforced, which I think is a super great idea from Adidas. Everything from those blue lines, as I mentioned before, everything from those blue lines back is all synthetic. It's a really super thin synthetic material. You can kind of see right there in that gray area, in that white area, the texturing to it. It's almost like a grid pattern like this, and it creates super thin upper but also with a lot of structure to it, which is awesome. Traditional tongue, so there's no material that holds the tongue in any type of way. I'd say that's maybe one thing that Adidas could have done to fix this boot would to be made. That being said, some people, this is more of a subjective thing, but I really like tongues on boots that are a little bit easier to stay in place. So maybe they have a little bit of connective material that connects the upper to the tongue on either side, kind of like a tiempo, right? So there's that cage on the inside. I'm wondering if they could do something similar to that without it being knit. Maybe they'd have to put knit or something, I'm not sure. But the tongue does slip to the side just a tiny bit depending, but they do have this little cover right here that says F50 that the laces go through, and so it does allow the tongue to kind of stay in place a little bit. But that's the only gripe that I have with the boots that I've been wearing in training, those black and white ones. These ones are just stunning. I love the colorway of these, and I'm really excited to try these on pitch, see what they look like with a proper kit. What I'm gonna do with this particular video is, because I'm in the process of moving houses and moving all over the place, I'm going to combine the on-feet portion of the video and the field portion of the video, so you'll see both of those things happen on a pitch instead of one in my living room, one on the pitch. So we'll do kind of both combined in one. Makes it easier for you guys because you'll get all the information in one segment, and also makes it easier for me from a filming perspective. That way I can get it all, all crush it on the pitch. The touch on these is absolutely stunning. That hybrid touch does such a good job of giving you that soft sensation of a thin, super thin, almost like Mizuno thin leather upper, while giving you the structure of the synthetic, which I do really love. You've got a traditional speed frame from the Ghosted and Speedflow. This is the exact same as both of those boots. You've got sort of the bladed studs in the back with a little bit of extra material right here that make it a little bit of a chevron. Bladed studs here, chevron, almost like an arrow stud there, and then your bladed studs and some traction in the front for some deceleration type movements. So very, very good sole plate. You've got tons of structure to this upper. to the sole plate, it does give you a ton of snapback with this Carbotex insert, that carbon fiber piece. And I think as far as sole plates goes, this is one of the best sole plates on the market, if not the best, for responsive energy retention and redistribution in your movements. So that's something to consider if you are looking at a boot like this that's special edition, or you're looking at either an X Ghosted or an X Speedflow. Do keep that in mind. They are fantastic from a sole plate perspective. It's one of the best that Adidas has ever produced, if not the best in my opinion. And it does a great job of giving you enough space in the last for a little bit wider foot types if you are that way, or thinner foot types if you are that way as well. So whatever your foot shape is, they do accommodate for most foot types, especially in this midfoot area. And these boots, these particular boots with the F50 Adizero 4 generation upper on them, do give you quite a bit of width through that midfoot and both on the lateral and the medial side, that allow you to fit in these boots if you are a wider fitted player. So fantastic, so stoked to have these. This is number 3 of 6 of those remakes, which I'm really excited. I would love at some point to own all 6. We'll see if that happens, but these are a beautiful, beautiful pair of boots. I think the color combination it's very loud, it's very eccentric, and it really does have that wow factor, which is awesome, and I love this. So I'm excited to wear these in a training session, definitely excited to wear these in a game, and we'll go from there. So without further ado, let's hop into the on-feet portion of the video on the pitch, and I'll explain how the new pair fits when you put your feet in, how the sizing is like, and then of course what it's like to feel a ball on them, juggling, passing, shooting, all that stuff. So we'll get into that right now. All right, fam, so out at the pitch here with the beautiful, beautiful F50 Adizero 4s in this amazing cotton candy colorway. I'm very, very excited to show these to you guys. If you haven't seen the review on the World Cup 2014 edition with the black and white, definitely go check that out. These are gonna be very, very similar, if not the exact same. The only difference that I see, and I've been actually training with those F50s for about a week and a half now in team training, in pro team training. The only difference that I see in these two, these have a suede liner in the back, in the heel area, and then those other 2014 World Cup ones don't. So they're just a synthetic material, basically. I've had no issues with lockdown, so either way, I usually prefer a suede liner in the back just because it gives you that little extra grip, but we'll see kind of how they go from there. But very excited to try these on. Hybrid touch upper, unbelievably colorful, so fun. Let's hop into it. As I mentioned before as well, this is going to combine the first impressions on feet with the field test, just because I am moving house and in the process of moving, and I don't really have the time, and our living room back in Detroit is totally filled with stuff trying to move. So first impressions of these, oh, so comfortable. The hybrid touch upper is really wonderful. It reminds me a lot of a dare I say, better version of Kangolite, just in the sense of it's thinner, it's a little more flexible straight out of the box, and it really gives you that one-to-one sensation on when you have these on your feet, when you're touching the ball and stuff. And that to me is worth every dollar that I spent on these boots. So very, very cool. Here we go. So getting these on feet, and as I mentioned, so good straight out of the box, so good. Probably would not change a thing. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about this suede liner once I get them. Here we go. All right, so there you go. Let's give you guys a close-up look first, just on feet. There is a little bit of a gap here. That's one thing that I often complain about with boots. Just because I've got wide feet in a really crazy lateral area, these tend to be a little bit annoying, but I don't notice them during any training sessions, so that's something that I, don't really mind that much. On feet, these boots are absolutely stunning. They are so beautiful, so soft, so comfortable. I don't really mind that little thing on the outside of my heel, or outside of my ankle, excuse me, very much at all. I really don't notice it that much. And yeah, here's what they look like with white socks, black kit. I think these are gonna look phenomenal no matter what color you have. Maybe if you had a red kit it wouldn't look so great, but who am I to say? You guys can do your own styling. As far as the suede liner, which again is the only difference between these boots and the 2014 boots, as far as I can tell, I think it makes a little bit of a difference. I reckon there's a little difference in the heel, just because suede gives that a little bit more friction and it allows the boots really to stick to the back of your heel no matter what type of sock you're wearing. So I'm not wearing grip socks right now, but I definitely would wear grip socks in a game or in a training session, and I bet these would be even more extra grippy, but I'm getting zero slippage in the back, which is really cool. Touch on the ball, per usual, from Hybrid Touch F50. Awesome, really, really good. I love the way these fit and feel on feet. I think they're so comfortable, they're so clean. There's no distraction. All right, not sure what happened there with the camera. Might be overheating or something. It is kind of warm outside. But yeah, so central lacing system, which gives you a really clean touch on either side of that lacing system. So that's kind of, as you can see here, very, very easy central lacing with easy touches on either side. That hybrid touch really wraps your foot and does a really good job of making sure that you have a secure fit, but it also doesn't overstretch like a traditional leather boot, which is pretty special. That's a really cool technology. It's crazy to think, I was actually talking to some of my teammates yesterday in training about how the F50s have gone through so many iterations back to back to back to back to back, and they've all been really, really good, especially in that 2010 to 2016 range of being such good for, like so good for all these F50s. And they changed so quickly that no one really had the chance to really enjoy them. And so I really applaud Adidas for doing this remake thing, especially so people who get an opportunity to get their hands on a pair of these can enjoy those sort of remake boots and really appreciate how good the technology was even back in 2014, 2015. These are super loud, so if you don't want a really bright shoe, you don't want to draw attention to yourself, as somebody who wears really flashy boots, definitely wouldn't recommend these. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend those World Cup ones either, because those ones are pretty loud as well. That being said, they're an awesome boot. They're staying in my collection. I'm gonna be wearing them for games, gonna be wearing them for training sessions. They are wonderful. I love my black and white ones I've been in. All right, last try. We're gonna wrap up the video here because these are absolutely stunning. You guys know, if you want any more tech specs or first impression stuff, go check out the 2014 World Cup version. That'll give you a good idea. They're the same boot, just a different liner in the heel area, and it really doesn't make that big of a difference. So, like the video if you got value from it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you love these boot reviews, comment down below which ones you want to see next. As always, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.